Hey everyone, Double Down Music here. Today I'm going to be showing you how to sample in GarageBand. And stay to the end, because this is what it's going to sound like in the end. So the first thing you want to do is make a new shortcut. Rename it. So I'm just going to name it Audio Extraction. Then we're going to go to the I button. We're going to press Show on Share Sheet. Then press that, clear, make it only media, then press Done. Then we're going to go to Encode Media, so encode right here. Press that. Shortcut input over here, audio only. Then save. Encode the media. Ask where to save. And that's the shortcut done. Now you're going to find your sample of choice. You're going to press this. Then you're going to press that audio extraction button. And that's just going to send it to your downloads, but you can send it into your GarageBand file transfer. Very, very helpful. Now you're going to create a new song. You're going to go to your keyboard thing, press sampler. Now it's going to bring you to the sampler. The default stuff is just like a little bark thing. But now you're going to import your sample, so that's going to be right here. That's your sample. You can speed it up, slow it down. I want to speed it up, so we're going to put it over here. Now we're just going to record that. And what I want to do is, usually for my samples, I add a bit crusher and a bit of chorus. Turn that chorus down a little bit. You're going to bring up the bit crusher, put it to 2 times downsampling, because that was... So originally, old samplers, that was a technical difficulty or a technical limitation of the time, like Daft Punk sampled. So if they had a sample, it'd be bit crushed a little bit. Now what you want to do is merge the track to turn it into a waveform audio file, because if right now it's just a MIDI file and I can't chop it up at all. So right now I'm just going to press merge. You're going to merge it. Now you have a waveform audio file. Look for any pauses, so you can trim that. There's a pause right here. Now I think I want to just cut it to here, because that's where the first beat starts. Maybe trim it a little bit. I'm going to bring that over here. Now we're going to count how many bars are in there. So let's count. 2, 3, 4. And then this is where bar 4 ends. Then you're just going to higher up the BPM and make sure it matches right about to the end of bar 5. Now you can loop this. You should have a clean sample. That sounds pretty good, but what I actually want to do is bring up some of the sub bass in that and some of the treble in that. You're actually going to turn down the treble a little bit. Then you're going to put in a peak limiter to avoid clipping. Bring that down to like 14, 15. And just watch it, see if it goes into the red. If it goes into the red, you gotta adjust your peak limit a little bit more. Now, you're gonna, for my compression, I like turning down the threshold all the way, turning up the ratio all the way, and bringing up the attack to around 80 milliseconds. You're gonna turn up that mix by maybe 5.5, maybe 5. That will definitely put some clipping there. So that's where side chaining comes in handy. So you can definitely put some side chaining in that by just adding a kick here. You're gonna record your kick. It's a bit out of time, so what I'm gonna do is just kind of put some swing on that. And it should be on time. You could always adjust the sound a little bit, so the audio, so it actually fits on your grid. So every single time the snares or kicks come on, it'll line up with this little line right here. Just bring that over a little bit. Should be able to do that. It should be peaking at this little line right here. Now you can loop that, and you should have a clean loop. And your kick should line up. As you can see, there's a little bit of clipping going on. So what we're going to add some automation to this. So what that's going to do is that actually going to bring down the volume every single time the kick comes down. So this is just a simple side chain thing. I use this in a lot of my different songs that have samples in them, and a lot of different, just some of my regular songs. So you're just going to bring that down all the way to avoid all the clipping. You could find the place where it clips the most and just bring down the volume a little bit, but I like to bring it down all the way on the first little thing here. Just going to bring that down all the way. Then you're just going to bring that to the half of the bar. Then you're going to bring it down again. I'd say maybe to like 10 or 15 decibels. And then you're going to do this. Bring that back to 1.1. Bring it back to the half point of the bar. And what I'm actually going to do, I'm actually going to raise this back up so I have a clean loop for the automation. Then I'll bring it back down later. But I'm going to select this. We have this. Select all. And you're just going to press that button. Paste. Now we have a full bar. So we're going to select that. Copy. Paste. Paste. You could select this. Copy. Paste. Now, for every single time the sample comes back into the mix, you're just going to bring down this audio, this volume all the way. And now it should have a pretty clean loop. That sounds pretty cool, doesn't it? Now what you want to do is make that kick a bit fatter. So I'm going to change it to the 909 from the Vintage Drum Machines drum pack from the sound library. You can get it for free. Now I'm just going to bring down that volume a little bit and bring up that EQ. That will definitely make it fatter and more bassy, so we don't have a super thin kick. Don't forget to turn that down a little bit, so maybe where it's peaking at 0 decibels. Maybe I'll take off that swing a little bit. Now that's nice. Now we have a full sample, side chained, compressed and everything. And it sounds pretty good in my opinion. You can add a microphaser if you want. You could even add maybe even a new pitch thing. So if you want it to a different key, Or if it's out of pitch, you can always pitch it down with the new pitch thing. So maybe I wanted it in F major, but it's out of key. I could bring it down to F major or something. Now it should be in a different key, and it should be all tuned up. Maybe I'll take off that peak limiter, bring it up a bit lower, so I have a thicker mix. Now I have to add some of my drum machines, so I'm just going to duplicate this and then duplicate that again. This is for the snare channel. Separating your channels for the different instruments is very, very useful, especially if you want to EQ them differently. I'm going to bring up, this is how I EQ my snares. I'm just going to bring that over a little bit and turn that up. Now you're just going to record that. That sounds pretty good. I think I'm going to bring down a bit of that treble, though. A bit too much, I'd say. Just bring that down, bring up a bit of the mid. Now let's listen to that. Maybe add some reverb to that snare, just to make it pop more. That sounds pretty good. Now I'm going to add some reverb to this one, and reverb to the kick. Sounds really cool. Now this is for the hi-hats. This is for the hi-hats, and I'm going to bring this down, take out all the bass frequencies. This is what the EQ should look like for the hi-hats. Turn that up a little bit, and then we're just going to do this basic hi-hat rhythm. I use this in almost every one of my songs, and it sounds bad without swing, so we're just going to add some swing. And we're just going to record that. Now that sounds pretty good. I'm going to loop that. Now we have a pretty minimalist but pretty cool sounding French house track that you can make. You can always chop it up however you want. And yeah. Well, I hope you found this tutorial useful for any of your future GarageBand projects if you want to sample anything in your new songs. Look forward to my new album that should be coming out in a little bit, Baby. This has a couple different samples in it. So yeah, don't forget to subscribe and hit the like button if you enjoyed this video and you thought it was helpful. And leave a comment on what you want to see next. And I'll see you in the next one. See you later.